I have extreme ADHD, and today I want to talk to you about neuroplasticity and your brain's ability to completely rewire itself. There's a common misconception that people with ADHD are like hyperactive squirrels, aimlessly jumping from one thought to another. Most neurotypical people wish they could do that. The ADHD mind is an extremely powerful tool. Its incredibly unique wiring gives the ability to completely hyperfocus on pretty much anything. Trust me, you don't have bad memory, you just really don't care about that person's name. While some of us will hyperfocus on a game or a new hobby, we could actually capitalize on that hyperfocus and do some amazing things. Did you know if you have ADHD that you could hyperfocus on peace and tranquility? Imagine if the only thing that you could possibly think about is how calm you are. But they don't want you to learn how to think because they need you feeling like thinking is happening to you. I want you to think of neuroplasticity as an extraordinary interior decorator, constantly rearranging the neural furniture of your mind. When we practice mindfulness and meditation, we invite our mind's interior decorator to create a sanctuary of peace. If you can hyperfocus on all the things that you don't like, then you could hyperfocus on all the things that you love. Easier said than done, but that's why I'm here. Those with ADHD have zero problem giving all of their attention to anything that brings them dopamine. Dopamine isn't in anything, it's at the beginning of everything. Dopamine tends to release in anticipation, so if you're excited to have your next thought, then you have more attention being given to what you're about to think. With enough practice, you can hyperfocus on peace and tranquility just like you would binge on a Netflix show. In time, your neural connections completely rewire themselves and you tend to gravitate towards peace and tranquility. That means less anxiety, less depression. That also means more joy, more dopamine, more purpose, and way more fulfillment. Imagine if all of those mundane tasks that you had to do actually gave you dopamine and you enjoyed doing them. Imagine walking into a room full of people instead of being filled with anxiety and distraction, but feeling a deep sense of peace and presence. And all of this is possible when you practice thinking. Thinking doesn't happen to you. Now, my ADHD had me drinking so much alcohol that I needed 30 shots a day just to curb the social anxiety of my hyper-focusing mind. I was able to focus on all the things I didn't like, all the feelings I didn't want to feel. In recovery, I learned how to completely rewire my brain so I can hyper-focus on peace and tranquility instead of anxiety and depression. If you have ADHD or know someone that does, feel free to take a look at my page and look for ADHD Alchemy.